Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Banks, Caprillion,
Here.
Pinker, Rosendich, here, Wood, and Mayor McManus.
Here.
Mr. Hendler, Alderperson Hendler is not here.
Item number 3, is there a motion to approve the minutes of September 17th? Motion by Mr. Woods, second by Mr. Pinker. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any citizens' comments? Anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Seeing no one, we'll go on to item number 5, conditional use request by Quality Tank Solutions, represented by Nikolai Construction, to allow for a non-residential large development to construct a principal structure with a floor area of 50,000 square feet or greater, located at 2315 Galvin Avenue, parcel 33-07131D, zone G1, general industrial. Presenter, Evan Monson.
Thank you, Mayor. As he just stated, this is a conditional use request. Quality Tank Solutions is looking to build a new building. It's going to be 240 feet by 250 feet, so it's going to be about 60,000 square feet in total. Due to the large size, anything over 50,000 square feet requires approval through a conditional use permit as a large development. As you can see here, it's located in the Norwood Industrial Park. It's currently 2 parcels right now. The east parcel is the current Quality Tank building, as well as another accessory building to the north. And then the west parcel has the Norwood barn, another shed, and basically an empty field around it. The plan is to combine the 2 parcels into one large parcel. So basically it's one large block now. It would total about 10 acres in size, and then they would place the new large development on the southwest corner as shown in the map there. The new building, if we go to the next slide, will look roughly like this. It'll be on the southwest corner of the site. It'll be south of the barn, which would remain after this would get completed. Quality Tank would also look to further expand their outdoor storage area north of the barn. As shown on the map earlier, there's some space north of that as well. That will be approved administratively, but this will be approved here tonight by you guys. If we go to the next slide, we go to the analysis. The site plan shows that the minimum setbacks will be met or exceeded by this proposed development. There'll be an access drive located off of Galvin, be roughly 175 feet north of 24th Street. There's currently a driveway there now that goes to the barn, but this drive would be relocated south a bit. This location was approved by the Board of Public Works at their 9/16 meeting last month. There will not be any landscaping required for this development, and then there will be parking added, bringing the total on-site stalls to about 75 spaces. That does include ADA parking. We go to the next slide. I think we went over everything for that. Basically, city staff would recommend approving the conditional use request by Quality Tank Solutions with the following conditions: that minor site plan changes may be approved administratively, provided they do not need additional exceptions from the zoning code. Any conditions approved with this conditional use permit, and or any conditions approved with any previous conditional use permits issued for this property.
Thank you, Evan. This item does require a public hearing. At this time, I'll open up the floor to members of the public who would like to address the commission. Would anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Second call, final call, anyone from the public? Seeing no one, will close the public hearing. Entertain a motion to approve. Is there a motion by Mrs. Banks? Second by Mr. Wood. Any discussion? Mr. Pinker. Mr. Pinker, could you hit your mic?
Just bring to the attention of everybody, the item at the bottom of page 1, noting the barn would remain. The barn did come up as a point of discussion at a recent meeting of the Historic Preservation Committee. And at that meeting, it was suggested that possibly this could be added to one of our brochures highlighting structures significant to Marshfield's history. And there was a concern expressed as to the future of that structure. I realize that has, does not fit into the qualifications for approval or disapproval, but I do point that out.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, then all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6, rezoning request by the Unified School District of Marshfield to rezone the properties located at 900 East 4th Street, parcels 33-00186 and 33-00189 from SR4 Single Family Residential to CD Campus Development Zoning District. Presenter Bryce Hembrook, City Planner.
Thank you, Mayor. So, as the mayor mentioned, they are looking to rezone the two parcels from a single-family residential zoning district to a CD campus development district. The plan is to establish a campus district and create a master plan that should be coming in front of the Plan Commission in upcoming meetings. The middle school property, the main middle school property, I should say, is to the west. That was identified as being general institutional in the future land use map in the comprehensive plan. And the property to the east, which is vacant, was identified as being medium density residential in the future land use map. An institutional land use, such as a school, is an appropriate land use in both of those districts. The comprehensive plan also mentioned that all schools could create or could be rezoned to campus development and create campus master plans. This is kind of a way to kind of see what the school district's thinking in terms of growth in the next 5 years or so, and to make approvals go a little bit quicker for any new projects. The school district has already created campus districts for the high school as well as Madison Elementary School. There are only 2 zoning districts that surround these subject properties. SR4, which is single family residential, is to the west, south, and east. And SR6 is to the north and northwest. Most of the neighboring properties are single-family residences, except for one duplex to the north and a park to the south. The main middle school property is approximately 17.5 acres, and the vacant property is approximately 2.4 acres. Setback and lot width requirements can be established through the campus master plan approval, and here is also a map of the future land use. So as you can tell, it's in the future land use map, it's essentially planned to stay as middle school, property. And then the rest of the area is planned to remain as mostly single family housing for the most part. And then with that, we would recommend to approve the rezoning request by the school district to rezone the properties from SR4 single family residential to CD campus district, and to direct staff to prepare an ordinance for common council consideration.
Thank you, Bryce. This item does require a public hearing. At this time, I'll open up the floor to members of the public who wish to address the Planning Commission. Anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Second call. Final call. Anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Pinker, second by Mr. Rosendich. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Item 7, rezoning request by the United Way to rezone the property located at 612 West Blodgett Street, parcel 33-00706 from SR6 Single Family Residential to UMU Urban Mixed Use District. Presenter Bryce Hembrook.
Thank you, Mayor. So this property was recently donated to the United Way to use as their new office. Currently, the building is not used as an office. It was a single-family residence prior, and they're expecting to have the offices done around April of 2020. And so currently the organization is unable to use this as office space until it is rezoned to a mixed-use district, which is why we are here for the rezoning. Rezoning the property to UMU would allow for the organization to use the building for offices, but this also could potentially lead it open to other commercial land uses as well in the future. According to the future land use map, the subject property is located in the transitional mixed use zoning or transitional mixed use district in the future land use map. So properties located in this district are typically residential properties in less intensive commercial areas in close proximity to major or minor arterials, in this case, north of St. Joseph, as well as other commercial developments that are currently or have the potential to transition from a residential area to a non-residential land use. I just wanted to make mention, I believe in my staff report, I mentioned that it was on the corner of Oak and Blodgett, but it's actually North St. Joseph and Blodgett, so sorry for the confusion. The applicant is not planning on significantly altering the building. However, the land use itself will change from single-family residence to an office. An office is permitted by right in the UMU district, and it is suitable because of its location along a minor arterial. And also there's some similar land uses located nearby. So the properties to the north and east are zoned SR6, which is single-family residential, and those consist of single-family homes. The properties to the south and west are zoned UMU, and those consist of apartments to the west, a hair salon to the south, and then single-family residences. And then there also is a property to the northwest of the subject property, which is zoned NMU, neighborhood mixed use, and consists of a financial advisor business. The subject property is approximately 13,522 square feet and has street frontage along St. Joseph and Blodgett. The property will meet all lot width, size, and setback requirements in the UMU zoning district. Now, with this change in land use, there will actually be 6 parking spaces that would be required. On the site, there technically are 6 parking spaces. However, they would not meet our traffic circulation and access requirements because they would essentially have to park another car in to successfully park. So that issue will have to be addressed by the time that the land use is open as an office. The applicant is planning to expand parking and should have a new parking plan in 2020. However, if it comes to them being able to open and they don't have a new parking layout, then they would have to go get parking exceptions prior to the opening. Any new exterior lighting or signage will need to meet the requirements of the municipal code, as well as the current hours of operation for United Way are 8 to 4:30. And I would assume if they were to change, they would only probably change slightly. So with that, the recommendation is to approve the rezoning request for the property located at 612 West Blodgett from SR6 to UMU, urban mixed use, and to direct staff to prepare an ordinance for common council consideration.
Thank you, Bryce. This item does require a public hearing. This time I'll open up the floor to members of the public who wish to address the commission regarding this request. Would anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Second call, anyone from the public? Final call, anyone from the public wish to address the commission? Seeing no one, will close the public hearing and entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Caprillion, second by Mrs. Banks. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 8, update on the Veterans Parkway Subdivision Plan Unit Development, presented by Josh Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. I think just this is a larger scale plan that was that had got approval back in 2018, early 2018, and I think it's a good idea to update the Plan Commission when for these types of projects, but also because they're not quite on the schedule that we had originally planned. So we thought it would be a good idea to bring this to the Plan Commission and at least present that to you guys. So originally, the phase 1 was to, I guess if you go to the next slide, Bryce. If you look at this map up here, phase 1 is lots 1 and 9. It's on the western side of the development. That was just going to be 2 duplex units or 2 duplex buildings. Those were going to be developed in 2018. Those did not happen right away, just due to, I think, logistics and just weather. We've had some challenging weather years in the last 2 years. This year especially, it's been very wet. And so they're finishing phase 1, essentially. Those 2 lots are in now. They still have to do the landscaping for those 2. Phase 2, which is in red to your right, the cul-de-sac there, that was originally going to be started in 2019. Again, because of the weather, they spent most of their time clearing the site. If you've been over in that area, there's actually a lot of trees that have been cleared out just to help dry out the site and to prepare the site for building or construction. This is going to be taking place in 2020. So it's basically a year behind, but those will be 5 additional duplexes in that area that would be able to be constructed once that cul-de-sac gets put in. And then the final phase, phase 3, will be additional road extension of Shortest Drive that would connect over to Lincoln Avenue, and that would open up an additional 6 more lots, and those would be able to be constructed after that road is put in around between 2021 and 22. So we're essentially a year and a half behind what was originally proposed, and we just wanted to bring that back. There was not really any hard and fast conditions on the timing of the development. Typically, a planned unit development has 10 years to complete the project. This is still well ahead of that. The project was started in 2018, got approvals then, and we're still would only be 4 years into the project likely before it's complete. You want to go to the next slide? So these are the 2 duplexes that have been put into place yet. As I said, the landscaping isn't in yet. They've seeded some of the grass and stuff, but there were some trees that were proposed. These 2 don't have the decorative features that were discussed, and I've got a call into the developer about that. At the very least, we want to see some of the homes with that type of feature. They'd have a stone facade on the front and then some cedar shakes on the gable ends. So, but at least the project's still going forward. There's, from my understanding, these types of duplexes, they have typically have waiting lists, and they can't build them fast. So it's not that he doesn't want to build them faster, it's just mostly because of the weather issues and such. So the other thing, if we can go back to the last slide, the other thing I just wanted to point out is Outlot 1 on the northwest side is, and it's an outlot because it's undevelopable. I think we talked about that in a meeting or 2 ago about what an outlot was. Essentially, it's a lot that either is substandard, meaning it's not meeting the minimum requirements of the code, or it doesn't have access or frontage and is basically undevelopable. In this case, it doesn't have access or frontage, and it's mostly wetlands. So virtually an undevelopable lot, and wouldn't be allowed to develop by code or by the planned unit development. This outlot was sold to a neighboring property. It's still part of the PUD, so it wouldn't be able to be connected to that property unless it got rezoned. But it's no longer part of this ownership group. And there's no intention to build on it. It's just basically a buffer yard, so they can use it as kind of natural grassland area, but there's not going to be any construction. But it's just an ownership change, not a use change or anything. So otherwise, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this project built out and developed, and I think it'll be a nice addition for the community. So, but happy to address any questions.
Any questions from the commission? Nope, doesn't appear so. All right, Josh, thank you. Any items for future agendas?
At some point, we're going to be bringing back a zoning code amendment, pretty significant one. Our staff has been diligently working on some changes that we have made notes over the years that things could be more streamlined and improved. So whenever we can do that, we try to do that. But instead of bringing you small incremental sections, we'll go over it pretty detailed when we have them. But we want to do it kind of all at one. Once we get that done, we'll probably be looking at the subdivision ordinance and then trying to keep up on those things as laws change and stuff. Working on that.
All right. Next item, last item, staff updates. Any staff updates?
I guess one of the staff updates that I wanted to just kind of mention is Evan and I went to the APA Wisconsin, which is American Planning Association, Wisconsin chapter. We went to the conference, and the Winslow Family Plaza actually received an award for a great place in Wisconsin. Essentially, Great Places, or the Great Place Award, is given to kind of recognize projects that were kind of new and exciting in terms of it's a way to recognize the community leaders, the staff, the community, members, people that support the projects. And so the Winslow Family Plaza was honored. This is their second award that they won. So we were able to, watch them give the award to the Howards as well as Mrs. Reiner at the conference. So that was kind of a cool event, and it's a great way of recognizing Marshfield. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know, and hopefully we'll be winning more awards for that. So.
That really is just an incredible place to go, even on a Sunday when they have the concerts. It's turned out to be just such a great thing. And I think so much in the very beginning of projects before they come up, I think there can be a lot of negativity or adversity. And I'm so thankful to the people that had the vision for this and the very generous donors that put this together. And now look at it. I mean, we have a lot of pride on it, that's for sure. So I'm glad that was recognized. Any other updates?
I'll just dovetail on that just to add to what Bryce said, and thanks for bringing that up, because I think those types of things we don't often recognize in the public forum, and for what the mayor said too, I think it's a great place as it's described in the award. But it was selected by a jury from Minnesota, so it wasn't a local award. It was somebody that knows these things about planning and placemaking and things like that. So it was really a special honor to have that. Nikki and I and others worked on the application, but it was really cool. That, and they actually recommended it they suggested that they apply for a national. So,
wow.
We'll see what happens with that. He's going to keep trying to get some more awards. It is a great place. It really is.
Yeah.
And then on another note, we talk about housing a little bit, and one of the recent programs that the city has adopted is a housing incentive program. And what that does is that provides funding for infrastructure to open up new single family and 2-family lots. So this past week, we reviewed 2 applications, and I won't go into all the detail, but that would open up to 26 more lots, essentially, which the city would contribute up to $500,000 towards infrastructure. But that opening up the lots will help us, I think, in the community for a while. We typically build out about 14 or so single-family homes, and anywhere from 4 to 10 duplexes in a given year. So we don't have a lot of inventory left, and I think it's important to recognize that. We're learning, we've realized that through our last housing study and some state of the housing analysis that we've done, and so we're aware of the issue, and now we're working actively with the Economic Development Board and the council to try to spur on some of that development. And so we know there's a demand there. There's not a lot of available homes on the MLS, but opening up lots and having some variety for people that want to come here and make their home here is important. So we're working towards that. And so we've got we can update you some more details on that. But just wanted to note that's a new thing as of last night. We looked at 2 applications.
Great. All right, seeing nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Wood, second by Mr. Rosendich. We are adjourned.